Boy, oh boy, do I got some drama for you. So I've been meaning to make this video ever since this whole thing went down between Angry Joe and Young Ripper. Of course, Eric July and what's going on with the whole April O'Neil thing. Now, with O'Neil, obviously, it's one of those things where you kind of expected it to happen. You knew it was going to happen if they ever did a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're making everything black these days. She was made black before in a cartoon series prior. You have people that are flat out lying and saying she was meant to be black originally in the comic books, and that's been debunked left and right by multiple people, including the original creator, or one of them anyway. And the fact of the matter is, when you have someone like Angry Joe with a massive following, and he decides to use that following to try to say that Young Ripper or Eric July apparently is not only a racist, which is odd to me considering that he himself is black, who also has a black wife. It's very strange. But not only that he is likened to a bad person, let's just say a P-word person. Angry Joe had the balls to try to liken Eric July to that, and that's what started this whole crazy drama. So it says, YouTuber Angry Joe requests apology from ISOM creator Eric July after July called him out for the false accusations over April O'Neil's race swap criticism. Now again, Angry Joe is known to completely shill for the far left, okay? But the funny thing about Angry Joe that I want people to really understand from this video is that Angry Joe doesn't believe half of the shit that he's saying, okay? It's so obvious. I'm very good at reading people, and I can see in his videos, when you watch his videos, that when he does reviews on certain TV shows, that those TV shows are shilling for the far left, like Last of Us, for example. When he has reviews on those TV shows, when he starts disagreeing with them left and right nonstop and starts disagreeing with the show, he has to catch himself. You'll literally see himself catching himself in the video and saying, oh, well, just so you guys are aware, I'm very progressive. I just want to remind you guys, I'm very progressive. I'm progressive, guys. I'm progressive. Don't cancel me. I'm progressive. I may not like the content that's made for you, but I'm progressive. Don't cancel me. Don't come after me. You know, he always has to remind his audience that he's progressive. If you guys watch his videos, you'll realize that he does this all the time, especially when he backs himself into a wall and he realizes that he's going against the grain too much. Whereas someone like Eric July speaks from his heart and speaks just right off. He wears everything on his sleeve, basically. He speaks right from his chest and he puts it out there. And there's no way in hell I wouldn't back down. There's no way in hell he would back down. He's not going to back down from those statements. I wouldn't back down from those statements. So why would someone like Angry Joe expect someone else to back down from their statements? And that's because on his side, on the far left side, that's what they do. Whenever they make claims against someone and they're forced to address it, they usually go run into a corner and hide. And that's exactly what he's doing here. So let's read this article from Bounding Into Comics. It says, YouTuber Joe Vargas, aka Angry Joe, requested an apology from fellow YouTuber and ISOM creator Eric July after July called out Vargas for a number of false accusations he made against him. It says Vargas went after July, Ripperverse colorist Gabe El Taib, Inglorious Rex creator Shane Davis, YouTuber Melanie Mack, and Twitter user Avatar Politico, accusing them of racism and wanting to sexualize young children for their reaction to not only the race swapping of April O'Neil, but also the dumpy character design in the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film. July criticized the race swap in design writing on Twitter. Tell me you didn't pay money for this. New TMNT animated reboot ops to tokenize April O'Neil as a fat black woman. This has resulted in fake fans spreading already debunked information, DOA. Full videos live on YouTube. So that's another thing. That's what I mentioned earlier in the video, the fact that they are literally lying about her origins and they are purposefully misconstruing what was said by one of the original creators. It was said that she was originally thought to be an Asian woman. They were going to design her as an Asian woman. Then they decided, okay, we're going to make her a white woman, but we are going to name her after his ex-wife. It wasn't his ex-wife at the time. It was his wife, but now it's his ex-wife. They named her after his ex-wife, O'Neil, but the design was always supposed to be a white woman, not a black woman. And then even more insulting, they try to talk about the fact that because she had a perm back in the 80s, that all of a sudden that makes her black and she was always intended to be black. These are people who are probably 20 years old or younger who have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They don't even know or even have experienced what the 80s were. And they don't realize that the 80s hairstyle, that kind of perm curly hair hairstyle, was so popular amongst all races of women, especially white women. If you look at any 80s movie, you're going to see half of the actresses probably rocking their hairdo because it was very popular. So to call it a black only thing shows your ignorance and shows how little you actually know about your history. And you think because you saw something on Twitter and that makes it to be true that you can start shilling for it? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Your virtue signal is empty. It says El Taib quote tweeted July writing, April O'Neil is a white redheaded lady. Just stop, you dummies. Then it says Davis also shared his thoughts on Twitter writing, I know the attack on redheads is real, but come on, April O'Neil is white. YouTuber Melody Mack also tweeted, as always, people are pulling the racist card at any April O'Neil criticism, white activists at that. April is supposed to be beautiful. They could have given us a cute black April. They made her ugly on purpose. Race plays no role in that. And that's the funniest thing too. I say this all the time in every single video that I can think of regarding subjects like this. It's always white people that are trying to be offended for people who aren't white. They are called white activists with white guilt for a reason. And this is the people who always want to complain on Twitter whenever you have criticisms about characters like this that are so disgustingly ugly and they really make the stereotype bad. It says, this is April O'Neil. Another redhead gets bodied by diversity. LOL, nah, I'm good. Won't be watching, tweeted Avatar Politico. And that's another thing too. Redheads, again, absolutely destroyed on the Hollywood sector. It's become a meme at this point. It says Vargas took issue with these valid criticisms, accusing them of being racist and weirdos. He tweeted, racist, April O'Neil is white, not black. I'm tired of being replaced. This is BS. Woke, woke, woke. He continued, not racist weirdos. I don't care that she's black, but why isn't this 12-year-old hot and sexy instead of ugly and fat? I can't wank. Vargas concluded, rest of us, who the fuck cares? Is it a good movie? That's the thing. It's so easy to say that, Angry Joe. It's so easy to say that because you, unfortunately, are shilling for a side that is perfectly okay with sloppy seconds. You don't realize, as a Hispanic male yourself, I believe that's what you are, as a Hispanic male yourself, you're perfectly fine with such lazy representation. You're perfectly fine with that laziness. It is 100% laziness. This is some of the laziest representation I've seen in years. And that goes to show that episodes like Velma, episodes like TMNT that's coming out right now with Seth fucking Rogen voicing a character that seemingly is black, by the way, which is hilarious. The fact that you're trying to say, oh, but is it just a good movie? It's not going to be a good movie. You know why? Because they're so focused on shit like this that they can't focus on being actually entertaining. And that's the problem with media. And that's what you don't realize because you're not really in this sector. You're in the gaming sector. So you should probably stick to that. It says, Davis responded to Vargas's tweet writing, no, it's already bad because it doesn't respect the source material. The woke are creatively bankrupt and can't create anything new of value. So you attach loved IP with forced diversity. I agree with that 100%. Davis also responded to Vargas' accusations on YouTube saying, I want an April O'Neil that was in the original content, that she was a reporter, meaning an actual news reporter. I would still like that if that's okay with you, Angry Joe. That is trying to get the scoop on these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Foot Clan and all of that. I would still like to have that. I would still like, because I am a fan, I would like my character not to be race swapped. Make a new character, if you will. If you want a black woman in the film, make a character that is a black woman and then sell me on that character. Don't take an already established character that people seem to love and adore that's really part of the big folklore of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, you cannot make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle anything without April O'Neil, he continued. Specifically addressing Vargas' accusation of racism, David said, I personally don't like just straight up being called a racist for not agreeing with the race swap of the character. That doesn't make me a racist, and I agree with that too. But again, it's the laziness, bro. Someone like Joe doesn't think 5 seconds past his face. All he knows is that he saw an opportunity to shill for the progressive left, and he took it because he always takes it. And he needs to make sure that he shills as much as possible because he's ever so on the fine line of cancellation. You got to remember, this is the guy who was almost Me Too'd, right? I don't know if you guys forgot that, but Joe Vargas was almost Me Too'd, and his fans came and defended him. I think I even defended him at one point because it was obvious the girl was lying. But still, this is a man who was almost Me Too'd, so he does everything he needs to possibly do to try to avoid cancellation. It says Eric July went on to YouTube to offer his response to Vargas as well. After reading Vargas' tweet, July came to the conclusion, so he's either likening me to a racist or likening me to the P word, okay? He does that by showing me actually right here saying something about this whole situation. That makes him a punk bitch, which I agree. July declared, that's not anything I'm going to play around with, likening me to the P word or likening me to even being racist considering that I'm a black man, so it's one of the two or both. One of the two or both. I'm either a racist as he's showing the example, or I'm not a racist weirdo that apparently is likening to the P word. So again, this is somebody who just feels like they can say whatever they want to say because he's on the internet and he feels safe. He thinks that he's always going to feel safe. And ultimately, when he runs into people like Eric July, he starts to realize really quick that his words have consequences. And it's not that Eric July is going to go beat him up. It's a simple fact that he's going to have a conversation, one of which that I don't think Joe has ever had a certain conversation in his life. And it's something he's not used to. So it's something that he would unfortunately be forced to reckon with. And I think that's why he ended up backtracking his statements. And now he's basically trying to hide and pretend like he's just having a conversation. That's all it is. You're just having a conversation. You're definitely not throwing slurs or anything like that out at people. No, that's not you, Joe. You're progressive, right? Just in case you have to remind them again, you're progressive. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.